Greetings, I'm Summerhill 7 here at the Poemedy Institute. And wanted to share a translation of Suras 101 and 102 that we found particularly beautiful. Chapter 101, Al-Qadiyah, the disastrous rattling. Review before Hijra. With the name of Allah, the most gracious, the ever merciful, I commence to read Surat Al-Qadiyah. The disastrous rattling of this life as seen in warfare is sure to visit the world. How very terrible is the disastrous rattling? What should make you know how very severe and destructive the disastrous rattling is? On that day, people shall be in great confusion and distress like moths scattered, and the mountains shall look like carded wool. Now as for the person whose scales of virtues are heavy and good deeds are preponderant, he shall have a pleasant life. But as for the person whose scales of good deeds are light and of no account, the abyss, Gehenna, shall then be a nursing mother to him, till the souls are completely cleansed of the taint of sin and they are reborn. What should make you know what that abyss is? It is a blazing fire for burning out all the dross that people collect by leading a sinful life in this world. Yada yada yada. Chapter 102. Al-Takathur, the vying with one another to excel, revealed before Hijra. With the name of Allah, the most gracious, the ever merciful, I commence to read Surat Al-Takathur. O people, your vying with one another to excel in multiplying worldly possessions diverts you from God and true values of life, until on your death you embrace the graves. Nay, you should never hanker after worldly gains, power, and position. You shall come to know in time that you have been chasing a shadow. Nay, again, we repeat, never should you misuse your life of probation. You shall come to know the consequences of it in time. No, never. If you only knew the consequences thereof with sure and certain knowledge, you will certainly see the very hellfire in this present life by seeing the sad fate of the wicked. Again, you shall most certainly see it in the hereafter with the eye of certainty. And then on that day of reckoning, you shall be called to account for the favors bestowed upon you. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. Surely Allah speaks the great truth. Okay. The word dross. I first learned from this translation of the Qur'an. Nooruddin is the translator. They say explained by, which I love that. They don't say translated by, explained by. And dross is waste. It's such a beautiful word. There's so many beautiful words that I've only read in the Quran. First time I discovered the word niggardly and investigated it as a word and not some sort of political statement or whatever was from the Quran. First time I learned the word superciliousness was from a translation of the Quran. And so that's what I meant when I said rich source for writers. Oh, the disastrous rattling, which is a very poetic description of an earthquake. And again, I think I attribute that to Nooruddin's translation, his choice, which shows us the extent to which an idea can be translated based on the translator's current experience of an ancient thought. It's very interesting. That's one of the secrets of theater, I think. Okay, let's move on. It is the only book that I'm aware of in the world that itself is evidence of a miracle. It is the evidence of the miracle. And so I really, as a writer, I find it to be a particularly rich source of thought and connection with something eternal and lasting. I just found the words to transcend time. You know, we talk about the Constitution. Our 1776 is an elastic document. And it's been changed a bunch of times. And, of course, we have the King James, Bible, I have mine. And it's a tremendous piece of literature. And we have all our writers, etc. And they all have their own thing. This is the only book that I'm aware of that claims the Almighty, the unseen, as the author. All the aforementioned books have authors that have, eat, slept, did all those things. The author of this book, according to the book itself, there's no need of any of that. And so it makes me think of journalism. Right? We talk about journalism, and we talk about objectivity, right? And yet the issue with journalism is that we're all sort of humans looking at life from our vantage point. And so one of the things I really enjoy about this book is it looks at humanity from a vantage point that humans are inevitably unable to look at life. So with that, I'm going to read. So, hanker, right? It stood out for me this time because I remember as a child there was a commercial and they used the word hankering for a hunk of cheese. It was some kind of one of these, we used to have these PSAs sponsored by the government to get you to know what a bill was. I'm just a bill sitting on Capitol Hill, all these kind of things. Hankering. And I haven't really heard that word much in my life other than that. It's a particular type of word. And in the context here, it's so vivid for me now. Nay, you should never hanker after worldly gains, power, and position. Hankering. Yesterday, the whole day, I was walking around in my mind thinking about hankering. The hankering that I do. Because we all have some hankerings, right? We want something, I think, is what, I haven't really looked up hanker yet. But it's, you're wanting something. It's like, I gotta get it, man. I gotta get that Oscar. Damn it, I gotta have a baby. I gotta get me a husband. I gotta get me a car, man. It's kind of like jonesing. We be jonesing for something. Otherwise, we stay in bed. And so so then naturally my mind goes to, what is it that I'm hankering for? What do I want to hanker for? And I'll leave you with that.